We are pretty convinced of our location, of our geography, and we are pretty certain that we will have that promise of the freighters coming in as the cargo tonnage grows. You have to understand this is a brand new airport. It's a greenfield airport. So obviously there is that period where the demand has to kind of match with what the supply is. So it's not going to happen maybe on day one, but obviously the discussions continue, and we are pretty certain that the market will assist us in establishing these carriers.
Hello everyone, this is Parijat Sourabh from Strat Media Group, and I am here at the Air Cargo India event 2024, and joining me today is the Chief Operating Officer of Noida International Airport, Kiran Jain. Noida International Airport is an upcoming India's major international airport. So my first question to you is, the UP government has allocated rupees 1,150 crore for the airport. How will these funds be utilized, and are there any concerns about meeting the project deadline within the revised budget?
Okay, so I think what you're referring to are the funds which were announced in the recent budget. They're actually, I believe, for acquisition of more land. It really has no semblance of any impact on the project that we are working on. We have received the land from the state, and it is on that we are building the airport. We are determined to deliver the airport by the end of the year, which is as it is in our agreement with the government of Uttar Pradesh. I must say, though, that the support we receive from the state has been immense. The largest part of where we really require the support has been in terms of connectivity, of getting access to the airport, whether it's going to be for the passenger traffic, whether it has to be for logistics, cargo traffic, even to the extension of the rapid rail transit system, the trains. So the support that we have received from the state in moving those initiatives forward is exemplary, and it's definitely praiseworthy. And we look forward to that continued engagement so that we can have fruition to all of these connectivity projects, because they're critical for the success of the airport, and also critical to vitalize the catchment within which the airport is, which is in outside of Greater Noida in Western Uttar Pradesh. Yeah.
You have recently signed MOUs with the major Indian airlines like Indigo and Akasa Air. So are there any plans to bring in more airlines or any more cargo carrier airline in your partnership, and what are the criteria are you looking for in the potential partners?
So yes, absolutely. We have signed MOUs with both Akasa and Indigo. Essentially, the MOU basically a intent of the carrier to commence with air service from the airport, to be a partner with us in terms of innovative pilot programs that we might have when it comes to digitization or any technology driven project. It also is an intent to work with establishing Noida International Airport as a base for their aircraft. So we have been working with the airlines. We continue to work with the airlines because obviously that is the number one point of interest. Whether it is for the cargo carriers or for the passengers, is essentially to have the capacity to either fly or carry the goods. We are not in any discussions with any of the freighter airlines per se to come together for this sort of an MOU, but yes, we are definitely in discussions with the freighter airlines and other passenger airlines to basically tell them about the opportunity that exists within the catchment that Noida International Airport is serving. When I speak about catchment, this catchment is not just limited to people. There is an immense industrial catchment, which pretty much, I would say, handles close to 50% of the tonnage in northern India actually emanates from this catchment. So when you consider that, the market should be speaking volumes. The market is what should be influencing, whether it is for the freight carriers, etc., or it is for the passenger carriers to come and establish operations at the airport. So we are pretty convinced of our location, of our geography, and we are pretty certain that we will have that promise of the freighters coming in as the cargo tonnage grows. You have to understand this is a brand new airport. It's a greenfield airport. So obviously there is that period where the demand has to kind of match with what the supply is. So it's not going to happen maybe on day one, but obviously the discussions continue, and we are pretty certain that the market will assist us in establishing these carriers.
So are you in talks with any international major carriers for launching their service?
Absolutely. My team and myself, we're in touch with practically every international airline. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the ultimate phase, which will be the phase 4 of Noida International Airport, how will you exploit the its full potential of phase 4, which will like cater to approximately 70 million passenger as far as I know. And when is it expected to happen?
So I'll tell you first, it's important to understand how we get to 70 billion. We have a 40-year concession, and within that 40 years, the plan is to have an airport that serves 70 million passengers. In order to get to that 70 million passengers, there are actually 4 very clear phases involved. And every phase is associated with a passenger throughput number. The first phase that we will be delivering will be at the end of this year, which will be for a 12 million passenger capacity. According to our concession agreement, when that 12 million passenger capacity is at 80%, meaning we are 80% of 12 million, we will then start phase 2, which will cater to 30 million. Once we hit 80% of 30 million, we start phase 3, which will hit 50 odd million. Then once you're 80% of 50 million, we will go up to the 70 million. So it is a very clear step-by-step approach. There are trigger points as to when we will be required to move on to the next phase. So obviously that triggering all depends upon how the passenger throughput increases. So I mean, that is exactly how this catchment will grow. That is exactly how passenger volume grows. And then given that, then, we continue with expanding the airport. The question you're asking me is exactly when will it happen, right? The when, as good a guess mine as yours. But given the growth in the passenger traffic in India, obviously it's going to happen a lot sooner.
So like every phase you have a set deadline or timeline, which will be according to the passenger volume or the cargo volume. And on the basis of that, you'll go ahead with the development of another phase.
Right. It's not a timeline. It is actually against the passenger numbers.
Okay.
So yes, based on the passenger throughput is when we will start with the next phase. Yes.
And what technological advancement or infrastructure investments are planned to ensure, efficient cargo handling at Noida International Airport?
I believe you're aware that we will be coming with a multimodal cargo hub. And our multimodal cargo hub is one that we are partnering with
AISATS, yes.
Right? So one of the criteria for evaluating the kind of partner that we would want to work with, obviously experience, etc., all that put aside, it was important that they had a digital framework of working, that they had technology-driven, drive towards, let's say, package handling. So we believe that the integrated cargo terminal, for example, the design of that is one which will have very short distance movements, very quick movements, which will not allow for these long, human intervention type package movement systems. This is all going to be technology driven. When it comes to the way we have designed the entire multimodal cargo hub, our plan is essentially to have sort of 5 key areas, whether it has to do with, the trucking, parking, I'll call it right now. Even that is going to be technology driven. Basically, it's going to be more like a slot system, right? Who comes in, who goes out, how long is the turnaround, how long are they going to be standing there, the unloading, offloading, all that is going to be driven through technology. When it comes to our courier terminal, the express terminal, the integrated cargo terminal itself, the warehousing logistics, warehouses, etc., all of that is actually designed in such a manner where there is minimum amount of time, and time can only be saved through proper technology.
So when you talk about like multimodal cargo hub, so are there any specific commodities which you are targeting, like any pharma hub in the airport that you are going to build up, or anything like that?
Multimodal cargo hub, yes, is a concept to basically identify areas which support each other in order to have the most efficient, most accessible, quickest way of getting cargo from point A to point B. That is essentially what a multimodal cargo hub is. In terms of the industries that we will be catering to, am I going to say that we're going to be a hub for product A or product B? No, it's not essential to do that, because where we are, that industrial catchment ranges everything from, I would say, phone technology, parts, avionics, fruit pulp, leather, meat, vegetables, fabric, carpet, you name it. Metal, all of it is done literally in that backyard. So to say that we're going to be one over the other, no. We will be able to say something like that once, the process have been established, once a product has been, passed through our terminal, which essentially, grows. Why? They will only grow if our processes are those that enable it to grow. So, let that happen. And then maybe it will emerge as the hub for, let's say, electronic shipment, right? I do know for a fact that working with AISATS, we will be creating different products for different commodities. Now, once these products get tested, that's how then the tonnage will grow. That's how that will turn into I would say, a choice, a preferred choice.
No, I asked you because we saw in COVID, like there was a need for dedicated pharma hub in India. And recently, many airports in India, these airports are working for the pharma hub. So, are there any specific
Yeah, no.
plans?
So what I see, you need to have the process right and you need to have the equipment right. So you can call it a pharma hub, you can call it a cold perishable hub, you call it any, but the products have to be right. So that's what I'm referring to. So in our case, we will have the courier, we will have the cool port, what we call, which is essentially what is then used for pharma, which then gets converted into what is used for flowers, etc. It depends upon what the product is, but 100% certainly we will be able to handle every one of these commodities through. There is no doubt.
How does like Noida International Airport intend to contribute, to the mission of achieving 10 million tons annual cargo throughput by 2030? So this was the topic of the panel discussion here in Air Cargo India also, that how we can achieve this ambitious target by 2030. So what do you want to like comment on this?
The airport is an enabler, right? I'm sure you believe that. So the airport itself will be there to provide the absolute efficiency for the product to go through, open 24 hours to serve, in complete coordination with the regulator, who plays a big part in cargo shipments, etc. So our enablement, the part that the airport plays, that will 100% support, the 10 million tons. Other than that, all the connectivity that is coming into the airport, that is a huge choke in many airports, not just here in India, but around the world. So we have created a completely separate access for cargo. It is not going to interfere with any of the passenger movements, which is a very unique thing. But we're able to do that because it's greenfield. We can design it in that manner. So in terms of the choke points, whether it is transportation, meaning the trucks, whether it is facility congestion, whether it is process, whether it is technology, all of that is going to be provided. So as far as the airport is concerned, there is nothing stopping it to enable this 10 million number, right? But then there has to be this whole question of demand and supply that the market forces will take care of. So of course there is a lot of work that happens in terms of going out there, etc. But the most important thing is this infrastructure that has to be able to give confidence to the shipper and to the receiver that the goods are going in the quickest, shortest, most transparent turnaround time, and that we will be able to provide. So I don't see any doubt in trying to get to those numbers. I mean, look, you just have to look at the statistics. I mean, the numbers that we're experiencing, the growth numbers that we're experiencing here in India are extremely unique compared to the rest of the world. So what makes us question?
How will the geographical location of Noida International Airport can be crucial for handling cargo, particularly which are coming from NCR and North India?
So, I mean, the location of the airport I cannot change. You know that. It is exactly on the Yamuna Expressway. It is about an hour, 10 hour, 15 minutes away from Agra. It's about 70 kilometers away from the current Delhi airport, 50 odd kilometers away from Delhi. So, in terms of how it is going to help, it's right in the heart of it. The geographical location of the airport is in the heart, Western Uttar Pradesh industry. So, that alone is a huge enabler. And then I've already spoken about the various connectivity projects, right? So, one thing is to have the airport, but the second thing is to make sure that all the highways, railroads, anything that carries freight actually leads to the airport. And we're on our way to do that as well with the help of the government.
The latest developments like the Navi Mumbai International Airport. So they'll have the connectivity with the new corridors. So do you have also like plans to connect with any such corridors in?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the connectivity I'm speaking about. Maybe I should have had the map here to show you the various connectivity. There's the Delhi Mumbai highway. There's a complete connectivity from that. There is the Yamuna Expressway. There's connectivity from that. There is the north-south corridors. There's connectivity from that. So if you see where the location is, it is literally like a golden triangle when it comes to all the highways that crisscross Amritsar, Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai, and then the north and south. So the location and the connectivity that has been planned all around it, a lot of it is already under construction because essentially the roads are there. These are exits that are being built in. That is all happening. So without a doubt, that is being taken care of.
How will the connectivity of Noida International Airport facilitate the transfer of cargo from industries or facilities directly to the airport.
Our location in itself is golden when it comes to being right in the heart of the industrial development of Western Uttar Pradesh, right? The other part is these roadway systems that I've been speaking about. This provides that connectivity. It's a 24-hour cargo airport, which means 24 hours this cargo airport is open for business. And last but not the least, we have very carefully designed complete separate entry and exit points for logistics. And the reason for that is exactly this, to avoid congestion. We have planned it in our design. We have worked with the government of Uttar Pradesh to make sure that this is the kind of design that is inculcated into the master plan, that also speaks then to all the connectivity that needs to come into the airport at various points, whether it's from the western side, the eastern side, north or south. So we are way ahead in terms of planning for this. Now, does it have to be a 4-lane, 5-lane, 6-lane? The idea is here to leave the provisioning of the land available so that as the demand grows, you're able to also grow the access points, right? It all has to go side by side. So that is exactly what the plan is. And the way we have it planned, AI SATS has the terminals designed. The fact that, again, like I said, because it's a 24-hour cargo airport, all of these things can be taken care of. And very quickly. And we are trying to enable something which we believe is very, very possible because we have the greenfield opportunity. So we can do it right. Are there going to be learnings along the way? Definitely. Are there going to be various innovations that need to take place? Absolutely. And are we open to them? We are open to them. The partner we have working with us on this, they've proven themselves around the world. So we're pretty sure that, with their technological background and their success rate, that same thing can easily be replicated here at Noida International Airport.
So thank you so much, Kiran, for bringing some great insights on the table.
Sure.
And so this was Kiran Jain from Noida International Airport, and this is Parijat Sourabh from Stat Media signing off. Thank you.